guidance.
Back against the wall, put on all of this just for my sake. I ran it up, I'm going back and forth. I had to go dumb for a check. Call on my guy, anti-hero on the beat. Got curb, got it going dumb on the streets. One false move, put the boy on the tee. I started hopping in the cast, no, I never was sweet.
I liked the photo shoot though. I mean, you know, it was cool. I never really, some of those areas like walking around there, I never really like walked around and seen.
Never been to some of those dark crevices. Like it was like the
alleyways.
The alleyway. I don't know who suggested that one, but
Probably me.
Oh, you did?
Oh no.
I was like, yo, those ain't safe. But
They got cool shots though.
no, they're great.
Like,
No, they're great.
Yeah.
The only thing was like that guy that was giving everybody flowers.
Bro, he was so nice. I got a little cute.
He was nice.
Yeah,
We
just
gotta
think
be
everyone
kind
gave
over
everyone a flower, bro.
My favorite were his little twig
Yo,
earrings.
that twig earrings. I was like, I can't trust this guy.
Yo, he's in tune with nature, bro. Like,
Yeah.
He wasn't.
It was the fact
What was
that
he
y'all
saying?
thought-
What was he saying to you
he was
guys?
just-
He was saying like he was talking to himself about like some of
Yeah.
the vets, and then he came up to us, gave us like
He
flowers.
was like, these are flowers for you.
Yeah, and then
like,
and then after that he was like, all right, I'll give you $1.
Yeah, he was like, y'all got money for
For gas, like gas money. I was like, you don't own a car. I know you don't.
We don't have any cash, sorry, but have a good day.
And they started like
Thanks
just
for the
saying,
flowers.
yeah, they started saying the thing under his breath.
y'all not hip. Y'all think he asking for gas money, but he was asking for that
gas
gas
money.
yeah, for that gas money. Bro.
Honestly.
Different type of gas.
Come on, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah, I was stressing because I was in like the middle of taking like my
Yeah,
picture,
yeah.
so I was just kind of
I
like
know.
stay in
Yeah.
character, stay in character.
Yeah.
I didn't want to like interrupt anybody or anything like
Right.
that. But I mean, yeah, it was cool. I mean, I liked how we found the pod,
Pod
there,
in the pod,
pod in the
man.
pod.
Pod in the
That's
pod.
definitely gonna be something we're gonna post for sure because that's a.
I almost try to close it on y'all, might be.
Oh god, no.
Yeah, I kind of felt like there's probably someone's home.
It was.
We were-
It was.
It was that girl behind it.
Someone came over.
Yeah.
It was that
Yeah.
the ladies behind it.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry,
We
we
didn't mean to
occupied
do
your
so.
space
Yeah.
for a few seconds.
Yeah, I don't know if
It's
you guys
for the
saw
content.
there's a pod right out here.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, there was. I know. I thought you like brought it.
Brought
to
it
the
back,
set.
yeah.
Brought it back to the
Oh,
set.
you serious?
I thought
about
it was y'all. I thought you guys were like, that was just
That's
part
where
of the
we do it.
brand.
Yeah, we did that. That's insane.
We'll eventually start. I think we should start potting out of a pod. I think that'd be kind of cool.
The acoustics
Yeah,
were
like
good.
ventilation.
Yeah. Get a line. AC, yeah. He said better than here.
They said better than here.
Better than here.
Where's your place?
Definitely is. At least the interior design. That's fine. But no, it's definitely an experience. I think like just taking pictures in general. I don't know about you guys, but it's always just like not nerve wracking, but like I always feel awkward.
Same.
Like I always feel awkward. Like everyone, not just everyone that with us that's watching, but like when people are driving by or
Right.
you know. So but
Yeah.
you still have to like try to like hold that composure of like trying to get the picture off. You know. So
Yeah, especially like the poses. Like, what's his name? I'm sorry.
Alex?
Alex. Yeah, he told me like, can you just like pose like with your feet up, like your stomach laying down? Like, bruh, no, we're not doing this. I mean, he was joking. But I was like, if he was serious, like, sorry, Alex,
I did
man.
not
you
get
gotta
that.
follow. But see, the thing as like you know, T can attest to it. As if you're getting your pictures taken, you gotta like trust in the photographer.
Yeah.
You gotta let them. If they're gonna tell you to do something, you gotta do it.
I was learning, I was learning to trust him.
You did good though. You rocked that hat real good.
Yeah,
like
no,
you
like-
had those like walking like model walk like Tyra Banks kind of thing going
Tyra
on.
Whoa.
T's a natural. Yeah,
He's
he's
a
a
natural.
natural.
I guess I'm
Let's
natural.
get some
Yeah.
tired bangs.
Yeah, no, T definitely knows how to strut. You know,
Yeah, so
so.
not that y'all like.
She's meant for walking.
These shoes are not made for walking.
Not made for walking.
No, it was definitely a cool experience. I'm glad we got to do it. But for everybody here, yo, welcome back. It's the Sweeter Man Podcast. It's your boy Nick, aka the Anti-Hero.
It's your boy Will, aka Mr. Potter, aka 7 Forward Advocate, shout out New Orleans.
And it's your boy Terrence T Time T Square. You know, in the back, making sure we sound and look right. We got Slade.
And today, that was an abrupt.
That was abrupt. He's like, all right, now we're done with it.
And today we have a special guest. We have Kat here from People of Happiness. She's the U.S. directing CEO.
CFO.
I'm just kidding.
Controller.
CSO controlling everything,
yeah,
all the
yeah.
operations here, based out of Tampa. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for
Welcome.
having me.
Yeah, for sure. Just real quick for anyone that may not know, POH or People of Happiness is a clothing brand that we actually really like. We actually we've definitely met a lot of people that have clothing brands here in Tampa. And shout out to you guys, but to actually like when we first like spoke and I actually saw the brand, like I liked the concept behind it. I liked like sometimes with the brand there's just it's just a style, right? But then most of it like lacks meaning, and your guys actually have meaning. So I kind of want to talk to you about that. Like, what is POH? What is People of Happiness? What is that brand?
So with People of Happiness, our main goal is to not just have like clothes that you can wear, but like a lifestyle, a community. So like each of our apparels have a story. So like whether it's reconnecting or whether it's goodwill or like our pilot collection was like support like mental health awareness. So we had our It's Okay to Not Be Okay tee. And we're all about collaborating, and basically like anyone can be happy, like whether you're in Tampa, Indonesia, whatever, like anyone can be happy, and basically like anyone can wear our stuff. So most of our apparel right now is unisex, sizing ranging from XS to XL, and then we're hoping to get out some more in our upcoming batches too.
Awesome. So where did this like originate from? Because just now you just said that it's Indonesia and obviously Tampa based, but where did it? So it started in Indonesia.
So it started in Indonesia with my cousin actually. She kind of came home. She came to the U.S. for the first time, literally during the pandemic, and kind of sucked. But like she learned a lot here. Like we got really close, and then like she went back home in Indonesia, and she was just like, man, like just the culture in America. Like I know we don't always have like the best encounters with people sometimes, but like at least for me, like I'm always like smiling at people. Like I did customer service for like years. I'm still in it, so I'm very like trained to be like, have a good day, like it's my pleasure, and all that. And like that kind of culture isn't really like a thing there. Like you just kind of like move on with your day, like get your stuff done, whatever. But like with People of Happiness, we're trying to like change that meaning and like shift that culture to like that you can be kind to strangers, and that you can be like happy with your own stuff, and like mental health awareness isn't really talked about in like Asian cultures,
Agreed.
Asian American cultures. So like being able to do that has just been so nice, and be able to combine like just so many different aspects that like we're not just a clothing brand. Like we're so much more than that. We're like advocates, we're collaborators, we're international, which is pretty cool. So yeah.
I like the fact that you brought up mental health awareness with this clothing brand, because especially since the pandemic, or we're still in it, it's been like a major thing. Like a lot of people are suffering from like depression and losing jobs and things like that. So it's hard for them to keep a positive aspect. But like this with your brand, you're highlighting that. You're highlighting that even though that it's tough, and you're putting like a positive picture and positive vibrations like with like your clothing, with the hat and like the details and like everything that it stands for, which is I think is really dope. That's like the biggest highlight that came out of it that I saw when he was talking to me about it.
Thanks.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Definitely like I think to me my like what I want the wearer to feel is like I want them to feel positive, I want them to feel happy, but also I want people to see that, and hopefully kind of like that domino effect, like dang, like you look fine today, like now I feel kind of good because you're feeling yourself like, why can't I be happy too? Bam, I'm happy too.
Mm-hmm.
And what I like about it is, and I think I think it's a new wave of like with clothing designs. I think when I was younger, it was always about Ralph Lauren or like something style, like very pricey, high class brands. But I think like the trend of like people starting their own brand and just like very personal, where you don't just see that everywhere. You know what I mean? So like if I walk around, especially with like the Better Together shirt, like that wolf on the side, like you don't see a pocket randomly on the side like that, or like that type of design, So that to me, I think is pretty cool. Like you can kind of, it's like personal to you, like like where did you get that? You can't just say like, oh, like I got it from Shein, or I got it from the Wish app. Like, you know what I mean? Like no, you know what I mean? Like I got this from like People of Happiness. It's like a brand here. Check it out. And like especially in Tampa, like hey I got this from. It's in Tampa. Like that's their hub here in the U.S. Like check it out. So I think like that's kind of cool. Especially with this new drop. All the what is it like a fairy tale?
Yeah, it's like all based on folktale. So like we got, like you said, the Better Together is like the three little piggies, but like instead of like the wolf blowing each house down, like you work together and no wolf is gonna eat you kind of thing. And but we still got the wolf on the side, which is like super cute.
Yeah, he's in the tug. He's
in the
waiting.
tug.
He's waiting.
He's ready.
He's ready.
It's a reminder to if you stop working together.
Yeah.
He's gonna blow your house
And then
down.
each of our like clothing, we get like a little like comic with it too.
Yeah. And I
it's
saw that.
not
Yeah.
just a shirt. Like we try to make it, like you said, like personable.
It's an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely like a piece of wear, like clothing that would wear out, and I know people are gonna be like, "Yo, what's that?" Yeah. So I'm like, if people don't say something to me, I'm be like, they're just not looking. They're not looking.
You're looking right.
Should I walk by again?
Do you see this? Did
you see this?
Do you see this? Yeah, no, it's definitely one of those type of clothing brands that you look forward to the day you wear it because it's like, I'm different.
Yeah.
And the thing I really do appreciate about the brand is the material.
Yes.
The material.
Absolutely.
A lot of times when people create like a clothing brand, they always try to maximize profit. So by doing that, they get the cheapest bulk buy. Yeah.
Not exactly.
Yeah, we know.
They get and and I get it. I respect the hustle. You got to try to make it, but the quality, is pretty shitty, and you can essentially after a couple times in the wash, it's pretty ruined.
Yeah.
But that material was just like really nice. Like
it's
really
like thick
nice.
and like it's layered.
Yeah, so like the oversized tees, those are like thicker, like kind of like sweatery material, but like still like breathable. And then like our other shirts, like the breakfast game tee that I'm wearing right now, like they're just like the softest shirt, and like a lot of people would like it because it doesn't really get ruined in the wash, and like it's still soft. And I think that it's really cool that you brought that up because we definitely had to do a lot of research going into this.
Yeah.
And what makes me really like excited to have this brand in the U.S. is that we made sure that it was locally and ethically made. Where my cousin is in Indonesia, so we have direct contact with all our manufacturers, and we can oversee the process. We can make sure that like all the workers are being treated well. Like especially again, we were talking about the pandemic, like. It's kind of hard out there. And so making sure that these workers are like well rested, well healthy and all that, like it's very important to us, and we're hoping to kind of like spread that through our brand and kind of encourage that mentality and like that feeling of like togetherness, happiness, and like community.
So when it comes to like the community and like creating these pieces, like what goes into that? Like for you, like what do you look for in like creating these pieces?
For me in particular, like I know I just like something that people are gonna want to wear at first glance, but if you look deeper, there's gonna be so much more meaning. Like I said, there's the ethical aspect of it. There's the engaging aspect of it. Like who would have thought to put a pocket in the corner? Normally you see those little, what are they called, frockets? Pockets. I don't know, I feel like that was like a thing in like high school or something. Yeah. And like stuff like that. And then with that, like we kind of carry out our mission that we can spread positivity and happiness to everyone. And very important with like our batch 2 Goodwill, we're going to be donating each purchase, the proceeds from that, donating to meals back home in Indonesia, to all the villages that were kind of like stricken with COVID, to be able to, again, just build that community, build that trust, build that happiness, and just kind of do better.
No, that's legit. Another thing, I'm kind of going back to like the, when you have that on the second batch. I remember I told you like one of the very first things I noticed was the slits on the side, like the cut. That's very important.
That's true. The detail
of it is extremely important. Yeah, and I can see how it could be like a unisex thing because like the cut is not like, it's not overbearing. When it comes to like the top, you know what I mean. So like it's like it just looks uniformly just nice and pleasing to the eye. And so it's like this is like roll up on the side because it's as a slit, so it moves like this.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's really dope.
Yeah, and it was oversized, but it didn't make me look like small.
It didn't make you look
and it wasn't like boxy. Like you still looked good. Like y'all all did. Yeah.
I still could see my muscles in there. So
I can still see my muscles.
That's important. We gotta show them there.
We gotta show it. So that was dope.
So for the brand, it's a lot of messages, right? You have mental health awareness, like be yourself, just so much like with like kind of like uniting a community, right? also from the brand, like people of happiness. What makes people happy, right? Is acts of kindness, random acts of kindness.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So I know, like on the podcast, like we just talked about earlier. What do we do for the community, right? We bring people on, local artists or people that are local in our community in Tampa, and give them a spotlight or a platform to then like talk about their brand or their dreams, and kind of help them in our way. So I guess we kind of want to ask you, like, for your brand, People of Happiness, what are like some of the acts of kindness you guys do that you do to give back to like the people?
Right. So like, I think our biggest one is really just because we're just starting out and being across 2 countries, we really wanted to figure out a way to kind of unite ourselves. And so I think that's where the one po, one meal comes in, where each of our purchases are being donated to meals back in Indonesia, into the villages. But we're not just kind of stopping there. I'm looking into volunteer work with local Tampa areas. I don't know, like Metropolitan Ministries, Feeding America, all that. And like, I don't know, I just always grew up with serving others. So like my grandma back home in Indonesia, she'd always teach me like, when like you see like people on the side of the street, like you can give them like I don't know if y'all know like little rice ball things. I don't know. It's like in banana leaves.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like that's just like a thing over there. And like to me, and I might not mean much, but to them that's like maybe their first meal in a couple days. And so both of my families, like they've just kind of brought me into that like upbringing, and that just really affected like what I want to do as a person, and what I wanted to do, and what my cousin and I want to do as a brand.
Wow. Damn, I'm like taken back. I was like, dang, that's
A little
legit.
deep, sorry.
Yeah, that's great. No, that's like, I was like, dang, I'm getting moved right now.
No, and I think that's great, because you have brands that do donate like proceeds to a good cause, but to actually say, hey, when you buy this shirt, we are going to be handing somebody food that really, really needs it.
I think I'm actually, it's kind of crazy that you said it, because I'm actually more inclined to do that, to do like that, to get from purchasing other people's like stuff that do often donate, or this proceeds of 10% or whatever it may be. I find myself like doing that way more than me just like going to like like a clothing store or like wherever and just purchasing my own. Yeah, I like that for sure.
I agree. That's super dope. You guys hear that? You have to go check it out. You have to buy. We're gonna have the link in the bio on Instagram, on YouTube, on all our platforms. So definitely check that out. Sure. So I mean, let's just go with like the name, like people of happiness. So the essence of is people are happy, right? So what does happiness mean to you? I know that's a very broad question. That's a very philosophical question. You have to like really dig deep. You got to like sit in a room for 3 days and really figure this out. But real quick, just what does it mean to you? What makes you every day you wake up go like, I'm a happy person?
Well, to me, it's actually just like literally people of happiness. So it's not the fact that like I'm happy, like I'm going off my day, but like I am around others who are passionate about what they believe in, what they're doing, what they want to do in life. And so whether it's music, art, school, what, like all of the above, like if that makes you happy, I am right here and I am supporting you 120%.
Yeah. Wow.
It's so amazing.
Because I was like, dope. Because like it's crazy. Because like sometimes people actually are counterintuitive and opposite of that. People are waiting for your downfall. People wait for that kind of stuff. So like you being a person to advocate, like just bringing up your dreams instead of like people waiting for you to fall from your dreams. You know what I mean? That's really dope. It's a good positive mindset, and that I think that is more like that should be more registered for others. And like I said, like I'm kind of the same with you. Like I become happy when I just see my other my friends and my family members strive to like pursue their own happiness. Like recently I'll take my brother for example. I have a little brother. He he was like serving for a long time. Like he was in the food industry for a very long time. And recently he's like a co-captain or a sous captain of a yacht club or something. Yeah, so like he's pursuing that, and he wants to just like now he wants to like be like a drive like a private yacht, like just be going to other places and stuff and surfing, and it's cool because he wasn't really happy with what he was doing, but now he found it, Like I wouldn't think he would do it, but like, you know, I think he found something he really does enjoy to do like every other weekend, like all the time. Yeah, like he's always in a good mood. He's always like he has like a different mindset now, and that's like really powerful to see.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be driving us on the boat.
yeah,
So I'm
pretty
saying,
much.
where's the invite?
Oh yeah, on the way. I think he has a few more months, and he could just he just have to have anybody to help him out.
Y'all hear that? Y'all
Yeah.
hear that? Okay.
I'm not gonna specify the yacht club, but you know,
Yeah.
on the way.
But I think I like how you said, you know, happiness driving it off of others too, because I feel like a lot of times when people get something they wanted to, like they get to that peak with their milestone, people may see it as, man, well, what am I doing? How come I'm not there? Instead of really looking at it like, oh, they got their dream, then I could get it too. Like if anybody could get their dream, what they want to do, then I could do it too.
Mm-hmm.
Then you need to use it as, you know, that type of motivation. It's just like, it's possible if someone else got it. You don't see it like, oh, they took the opportunity away from me, or it's just not happening for me. They should just see it as, hey, they happened for you, they gonna happen for me too. Just keep grinding.
Like my turn's up next. You know, like I feel like that's why I've always looked at it as, you know, especially like a team, right? We should never be each other's crutches, right? Everyone needs to grow. Everyone has their time. So I've always said it like, if you make it, we make it. So if one of us makes it, all right, he made it. Now the next person, now it's my turn to shine. Let me now go in high gear. Let me do what I got to do. We supported him. Now he's gonna definitely support us, and just vice versa. So it's like, it attract like law of attraction. Like if we just all aim and push, we're really gonna like all as a unit grow. That's why I always say it all the time. Even though, like for example, like we do our little lottery group thing, right?
Oh, lottery. Yeah.
Every week, one of us gets like a lottery ticket. Now, I always tell them, yo, we all have to really believe in it, or it's not gonna work. Same concept. Yo, we have to believe in our dreams. We have to believe in each other to get to that next level. So, I mean, that's not my answer for happiness, but that is a big key to happiness, right? Is true support, real support, real friends.
Yeah.
Right?
And maybe it might not be like yours, but like it is like definitely like ours.
Ours. Yeah. So like, as a unit or like a community, you have to be happy for each other. You can't be envious. Like envious, I think, is like the nastiest like sin of them all, right? That's a downfall for you. That's a downfall for the other people. You're just bringing other people down. Like Tampa, that's one thing I love about Tampa is all the creatives are really supportive of each other.
Yeah.
You know, when we first spoke and you told me about this, I was saying, hey, like I'll try to I can like, you know, put you in these different avenues to like help out in any way that I can. Same thing for us when we did the podcast. We had like artists and you know, a lot of other local people here that, you know, we collaborated with, and we were still work together to this day. So, you know, that's how like I see Tampa like growing. It's not like just hate, you know.
Yeah.
Like I feel like before, like if someone was trying to be a rapper or something, you know, they would, man, he couldn't even rap. But now like in a community, it's like, hey, let's like collaborate together. Let's you know do that. So
yeah,
yeah.
I definitely like that because I think if I didn't end up talking to you, like I wouldn't have gotten into this new scene of Tampa. Because even though like I think we all grew up around this area, like we all kind of had different backgrounds, different interests and everything, but now we're like kind of like right spot, right time, getting to collaborate on this, but also like bond over it. And I just wanted to go back to like what T said because that is, it might get deep again.
Oh, yeah,
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
But like,
I'm here to get wild again.
but like,
Whoa, that's crazy.
but like, that just hit me so hard because that used to be me. Like, especially because like I'm a little nerd, and so like I'm still in school, and I used to be so beat up on like the stupidest things. Like they're doing that. Like, why can't I do that? Like they're getting like A's, like getting into Harvard or whatever, and like I'm still back here. But like changing that mindset just worked wonders for me because instead of focusing on like I guess maybe like my sadness or like my like whatever, focusing on like, because people are definitely like what make, like I'm mainly an extrovert, and so being able to like use that and say your success is amazing, I support you, and then being able to be like my success is going to look different, but I am still going to be successful. Like it might be 10 years down the line, it might be 5, it might be tomorrow, but as long as I believe in myself and I have that team, I have that support, like anything's possible. So I really appreciated that.
I agree. I mean, you know, I think it's about shift. It's literally just the shift of your mindset.
Yeah.
You know, whenever, you know, I had friends that became successful really fast or got the jobs that I wanted, and yeah, I'd be a little envious, I'd be a little upset, but my mindset has always been, let me sit down. I think the key, like one of my biggest keys to all the successes I've had in my life is understanding that I don't know everything. I've accepted I will not know everything. I'm not an expert at anything. Like I know a lot of people like, oh, look at these three, they're the dating experts. No, we're not.
No, we're not.
No, we're not. We're far from it. But understanding that, I would go and sit down and, swallow my pride. Yo, how did you do that? How did you get there?
Yeah.
What steps do I need to take to get there? This is my situation. What do I need to do? And I'm willing to always like admit my flaws and where I lack in to get myself to the next level. And it makes me stronger than ever. So
yeah, and it makes everyone. Sorry.
Oh no, you got it.
I was just like, it makes everyone stronger together, especially like how you guys started this. Like, you guys are all gonna have different opinions, different feedback, different advice, but like in the end, that's what makes you guys good. That's what makes you guys successful versus like one person saying that they're the expert. Like, this is how you should date. This is what you say to that girl. This is how you get her. Like, you weigh in all your options. You weigh in that opinion, and then like whoever's listening to this can be like, I agree.
Yeah,
and like take little pieces and stuff.
And that's usually how it goes. Like I think when people, especially when they listen to this specific podcast, not everyone agrees with me or Will or T, but based on the conversation, at the end of the day, it's perspective. I think like the greatest thing you can gain in the world is perspective, right? That's what's the point of traveling, right? We travel not just to take Instagram pictures or just say, but to try the culture, learn their perspective, learn their way of life, right? So, that's how it is on this podcast. We're 3 different cultures, 4 different cultures, and we talk about our experiences in dating. We all have different dating experiences. So you might be like, what he's saying doesn't make sense, but for somebody else in the world, they probably would
Yeah, I'm going through that exact same thing right now.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I look at it in that. Totally off topic, but, it's what we do.
I was going to kind of like jump on what you were saying, how, it takes like a team, like a collective to help, you know what I mean? Like what he was saying as far as like, let me just sit and like ask questions. Like sometimes I always like, like some of the good, not the greats, but like really good people with what they're doing. Like, yeah, I did this all myself. Like I didn't need no one to tutelage me. Not true. You know what I mean? It's like you learn from you learn in the background of people's mistakes, or you go through it and then people learn from you. You know what I mean? So
I think there's a process, right? Like you have to, if you're gonna do something, especially like a dream, I believe in if you're really passionate about it, you shouldn't ask for help in the beginning. You should figure it out on your own. Like I feel like sometimes a lot of people, like when we started this podcast, we didn't ask for support from people. We knew people that could easily give us a jump start in like subscriptions or followings and like all those different outlets, but we didn't choose to do that. We at least did, I think, at least a year. We committed to a year. We said we're not going to reach out for help. We're not going to ask anybody. We're going to figure this out. Like buying like the equipment, figuring out, Slade had to figure out all the wiring stuff. Like we had to figure that out to create the podcast. We didn't have an instant, like collaborate. Like let's collaborate. We just kind of built it on our own. And then from there, we then started asking for support. And I think that's a key thing. It shows how driven you are, how passionate you are about it.
Do you think that makes it like more worth it? Like, do you think like you're more like have like more gratitude, like more like it means a lot more because you did that versus just asking people?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, think of like an artist, like they might struggle putting out mixtape after mixtape and not getting that big break until later on, but they've just built like that work ethic, that passion for it versus someone might make one hot track. His cousin happens to be popping, jumps on a feature, and then he's just known for that feature now. Right. So like there's those type of people that it's like, did you really feel that experience? Did you really feel that journey? And that's something that like, you gotta kind of think about.
And people will definitely notice it too. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people who like helped us like along the way after the year. They're like, I think somebody like even mentioned like, dang, like I've been like peeping you guys. You guys are very consistent. You drop once a week religiously. You just guys always try to like push the topics. You guys work really well together. Like it's crazy how. Like it would be crazy for me not to work with you. You know what I mean? It's like I would do everybody a disservice if I didn't. So I was like really dope to hear somebody say it with us. So I was like, that was legit.
Yeah, and we do our homework. You know what I mean?
So, of course.
And we do our homework. So
you gotta do the homework.
Get there. I guess one of the last questions I do want to ask is like, what is happiness in a relationship? Right? I mean, I don't know if people of happiness have done like a relationship, launch like a love Valentine's one,
like his or hers.
I have one that's like reconnecting, but that's literally with anyone, and I feel like that like not as deep as a relationship. So
Okay.
But, you know.
You never know.
Maybe. Yeah,
You never
y'all
know. They-
collab maybe.
They're still young. They're still young.
Yeah,
Still
yeah.
young.
Y'all got any ideas, let us know.
But I guess, but what is it to you though? Like in a relationship, like what is happiness?
I mean, to me, happiness is like I kind of said this before, but again, just because like I like what like observing other people. Like to me, happiness is supporting that other person and just like growing together. I know like he's like right behind us, so I'm not gonna like cringe or anything, but like that was just one of my main points with my boyfriend was that like if we're going to be together, like we are going to grow with each other. Like it might not be perfect and we might have different paths, but like as long as we're like taking those steps to what will make us happy or is currently making us happy, like I can't be mad. And if I'm in that or if I'm not, like that's cool, but like ultimately like it's ourselves and like what we want in this life kind of thing.
Yeah, that's good.
No, I mean-
there's no cringe. That's not even cringe.
It's not
worthy.
cringe,
No,
it's not
that's
cringe.
I don't know.
I mean, no, because we've had people on the podcast where their significant other would be here, and I think it's super dope. I think it just shows like real support. Like one, nobody wants. I mean, not nobody, but I'm not trying to spend my day if I'm not on the podcast to just like sit there and just chill. But like I appreciate it, you know. Like, I appreciate like because he understands the. I would turn around and look, but you know we're doing it here. But like I think that's super dope that like you're willing to sit there and go, okay, like this is her dream, this is what she wants to do, and that this is like the next step to getting there. Like at the end of the day, you're gonna be like, hey, he was there. He was willing to sit there. He's willing to just like listen to this and go, okay, like what's going on, and deal with that, you know.
He
And I
also
think that's super
drove me,
dope.
which is like really
drove-
nice because
see?
you know my car's kind of big, so I wouldn't have been able to park it out there.
See, and he did that so you didn't even have to stress about the drive.
worry
He's
about
letting
it.
you mentally
Yeah,
focus.
he's-
Like that's super
Love him.
dope.
He's cool. Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, I think just the main thing for me personally is holding each other accountable. You know what I mean? Just accountability between each other is pretty important. What I mean by that is, like, if I say I'm going to do something, right, I tell them, like, hey, you know, I feel like doing this. I'm going to do this. I'm put a time frame on it, like a month or two. And then month two comes by, and then she'll remind me or something, and she'll be like, oh, you know, did you remember what you said a month ago, like this? And she holds me accountable, or vice versa, or I'll hold her accountable, like, depending. I think in a relationship, that's what should be, is to push each other and to, like, also...
But like, what would it be? Like, give us an example.
Could be, I don't know, anything. Like, I'm actually doing I'm working on, like, DJing. So... You know, I love music. You know, I have like multiple playlists. We have a podcast playlist, you know, curated by everybody here. So I kind of want to like implement that in DJing and like, cause like we all have different like tastes in music and like some similarities, but like I want to like showcase that. You know, this is like what the Streaming Podcast brings to the table when it comes to music, and just like try to like mix it, curate it, and like go to like, you know, like small, like start small, maybe do like a couple of venues and stuff, maybe do an opener for somebody, who knows. But yeah, like if I were to say that, I would like my significant other to challenge me and be like, "Yo, you said this time, let's get it done," you know, and just like really keep me in check with that. You know, give me like you know parameters and borders.
So like kind of like make you not like deter from. You want someone to push you to grow, not to just keep you complacent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That makes me overall happy. For sure.
And you do the same thing to her, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it goes both ways.
Yeah.
If I think it's important, then I'm definitely going to do that too. So, for sure.
That's true. I guess for me, I mean, that's definitely something I like as well. But, I mean, getting older, happiness, that's just peace, man.
Keeping the peace.
Keeping the
Protect the
peace.
peace.
Man. Protect the peace, man, You don't always got to be the center of attention, man. You don't got to be hype all the time, It's just there's just something special just about just be chill, Just be chill. You don't always got to go out, you don't always got to do something. You just like when you can spend time with someone and it be silent, and it's just like and it could be the small thing, just silent. You don't have to do anything sometimes. You know what I mean? Or just someone that's just like
you guys just actually enjoy each other's company.
Yeah, you enjoy each other's company, or when you're out in public and something happens, you're not scared that she's gonna just explode. Man.
Yeah, something. Yeah,
Bro, you
someone grazes your arm. Like, oh, you've been working out. Like, she ain't gonna.
Oh yeah, she ain't gonna do that, man. Like, even there was one thing where it was a Steelers football game, and the spouse, like, she was getting into it with this guy.
Oh yeah,
I saw that.
on Twitter.
She was getting into it with the guy, and as a man, which you got to step up to the plate and defend her.
For sure.
But she was the one that instigated the whole thing. And what happened to the man? This man's got
rocked.
He got rocked, bro.
Yeah, the guy defending got smoked.
So it's just like, knowing someone that knows when to chill out, and understand that things happen. Tomorrow's another day. We're gonna be alright.
I think that also comes with like patience, which like kind of helps out with that. So I feel like if like I don't know, that's like something for me. Like I'm still working on it, but like I think that if like you can be patient with your partner, like what's it called? Like the happy wife, happy life kind of thing. I don't know if that applies here, but like
It can.
Okay.
It can.
Like,
Right?
Good today.
I just like I don't know, like yeah, like don't just be like complacent. Obviously, like if she ain't doing you right, like you gotta work on it. But I think also like just knowing the time and place, like you don't have to fight every single time. Like just kind of being patient, kind of like letting that one slide can go a long way.
Right.
Like,
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if you catch a fade off your spouse's actions, that's a good reason to just end it, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's a divorce immediately.
Divorce.
Yeah. Divorce.
Especially if it was over something like a football game. Like you know what I mean? We're gonna
so trivial.
Yeah, like if she started it, if she's just like into sports and she starts talking and the dude really gets like physical, then I'll handle that. But if she's being so disrespectful to him too, that now puts me in that situation. Yeah, like I'm out. Red flag out. All right, no, that's again just T with the deepness here. Just leave, pretty much just leave him alone. I'm just like
Leave him alone.
just sit with him.
Sit with
He's
him.
happy that way.
Just sit down.
If you sit down next to him in silence, it's over.
Like, I had scarred, man. People just didn't sit with me. Like lunchtime, that was a traumatic. Like going to lunch and be like, oh my god, who am I gonna sit with?
That was a thing.
That was kind of a thing, man. Like
that low-key was.
Yeah.
you had to sit alone, like
and the unassigned seat. Like you sit there every day, and then like someone just sits there randomly, like, come on, bro.
Now I don't know where I'm gonna sit.
Yeah. Or like I said at the end.
I gotta sit at the end, or like, but that was my seat, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not a person to you.
One day we're gonna have to do like origin stories and talk about like T's time in like elementary school.
Get to the bottom of it.
Get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Get to the bottom of this.
I feel you on that though.
What?
Oh no, I'm
Are you
good.
crying?
No.
I started thinking
I had
about
something
it.
in my eye.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, what?
No, I was thinking about T's past.
It's
It's a dark past. I was kidding.
I was like, I feel you, man. I was like, it was tough to sit, like, cause I used to move all the time. So like, you have time you was new to school, you're just like, shit, man. Like, where am I gonna sit?
Someone sit.
Yeah, it was a real deal.
It was a struggle, man. It was a struggle.
I'll
But
sit
I
with
feel
you.
you. Well, group hug after.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
group.
what happened?
But no, for me, like looking into like happiness in a relationship, I think through all the relationships I've been through, I definitely think what I figured out is what is like the point of a relationship, right? You have to like really break it down because everyone just kind of goes in like, oh, she's hot or oh, she's funny or whatever. No, like what is the point, right? It's to actually find a partner that you can truly be yourself, right? Because you're a certain type of way with your parents, you're a certain type of way with your friends, you're a certain type of way with society or at your job. So I look at it as who are you at your core when you're alone and like when Slade's alone when he's trying to be a little funny man by himself, like who who is he?
Who is Slade?
Like, who is his goofy moments? You know what I'm saying? Like that's who you get to be with another person. You get to share that, and then they get to truly be themselves. And then the key factor is like true acceptance of that, right? And like the biggest way, like even when T mentioned like, hey, I want somebody that we can just sit down and just like chill. Like where did that come from? Where did that stem from? Like I think looking back at people's like past trauma, not saying it's a T's trauma, but like no, but like sitting down and understanding why, I feel like, I struggled a lot with like family, like people, especially like dating a lot of Spanish people, like Spanish girls, like going to family events. Like, it was always a struggle because it's like, oh, you don't like being around family, you don't like being around people. But I'm like, yo, I'm from like an Asian culture where we didn't really do that. So like, but like understanding where I come from in certain things, or why I view things a certain way, and having that talk, like really understanding your significant other's past. You know, like Kat said, yeah, we had our past, but we're trying to build together in the future. But in order to do that, you have to really understand each other's past and why you think the way that you do, why do you move the way that you do, you know. Then from there, just like blind faith into each other, and then from there you just kind of keep going.
That's that.
That's good.
There we go.
No, but seriously, yo, super deep talk. You know, I really appreciate you coming on here. I think just on that note, for, you know, the meaning of happiness, I think we figured it out. We figured out the code. I think we all cracked. I think we sadly cracked the code. But right before we, like, you know, leave, I just want to say, like, is there anything else you want to mention? Anything you want to talk about with the brand?
Yeah, I mean, like, peopleofhappiness-us.com is our website. You can, like, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, all that. And then we're going to come out with our batch 2. Should I say the date? No?
It'll drop.
It's coming up
It's
soon.
We're gonna post it. We're gonna post it.
Just look out, and, like, we're going to have a lot more. So, like, if you're in the U.S. and Tampa area especially, like, but we want to expand, but, like, just, you know, and hit me up. Like, I'm a nice person, so, like, you can always ask me any questions about what happiness is. Like, we can have that deep talk. You want to go into trauma? I'm not a therapist, but, like, we can, you know, as long as you're happy, I'm gonna be happy. So yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, for sure. And we're definitely going to do a giveaway. Be on the lookout for that. We'll have it posted on our Instagram. So if you follow us on Spotify or follow us on YouTube, definitely check out our Instagram at The Sweeter Man Podcast. We're going to put all the information with People of Happiness on there. So you can definitely check out the merchandise. And honestly, it's for a good cause. You know, if for anything else, let's feed some people, right? So on that note,
I know, man. I'm good.
We're good.
You're good. Slay's good. You're good. We're all happy here.
Awesome. Well, we done did it again. We're looking for the baby with the right one. We're out of here.
Deuce.
Peace.